This common sleeping position may be silently raising your stroke risk. Have you ever wondered if the way you sleep at night could actually affect your risk of having a stroke? Most of us think of sleep as the safest and most peaceful part of the day. But what if I told you that a simple habit, something you do without even thinking, might be quietly putting stress on your brain and your blood vessels? In this video, we're going to uncover the surprising truth about one very common sleeping position that research shows may be raising your risk of stroke. By the end, you'll not only know which position it is but also what you can do to protect yourself while still enjoying a good night's sleep. So, stick with me, because what you're about to learn could change the way you rest tonight. The silent connection between sleep and stroke. When most people think about strokes, they imagine things like high blood pressure, smoking, or maybe family history. Very few people realize that sleep, especially the way your body is positioned for 6 to 8 hours every night, can play a hidden role. Here's something you may not know. About 1 in 5 strokes actually happen at night or in the early morning hours. That means while you think you're safe and resting, your body could be under stress. It doesn't show until it's too late. This raises an important question. If you sleep in the wrong position for years, is it possible that you're silently training your blood vessels to weaken over time? The evidence suggests the answer may be yes, and that's exactly what we're about to explore. Why sleeping position matters more than you think. Sleep is not just about closing your eyes and drifting away. It's also about blood flow, oxygen delivery, and how well your body maintains balance. Imagine a garden hose. If it's lying flat, the water runs smoothly. But if you bend it or put pressure on it, the flow slows down or even stops. That's exactly what can happen inside your body when you sleep in certain positions. Your neck, chest, and blood vessels can all be compressed in ways that don't cause immediate pain but reduce circulation over the hours you're lying there. Now, this may not be dangerous in one night, but night after night, year after year, the effects add up. That's why understanding this link is so critical. Because we're not just talking about feeling stiff in the morning. We're talking about increasing the risk of something as serious as a stroke. The trouble with sleeping on your back. Let's start with one of the most common sleeping positions, lying flat on your back. At first glance, it seems like the healthiest choice. After all, it keeps your spine straight and prevents unnecessary twisting. But here's the hidden danger. When you lie on your back, gravity pulls your tongue and soft tissues of the throat backward. For many people, especially as we get older, this narrows the airway. That means your body may not be getting enough oxygen throughout the night. Reduced oxygen triggers a chain reaction. Your blood vessels constrict, your blood pressure rises, and your brain doesn't receive the steady flow it needs. This combination makes back sleeping one of the positions most strongly linked to sleep apnea. And here's the problem. Sleep apnea itself is one of the biggest hidden risk factors for stroke. People with untreated sleep apnea are several times more likely to suffer from strokes than those without it. So while back sleeping might feel comfortable, it may be putting dangerous strain on your cardiovascular system without you realizing it. The role of oxygen in protecting your brain. Think about how long you can hold your breath. Maybe 30 seconds, maybe a little longer if you push yourself. Now imagine your brain getting just a little less oxygen every few minutes, all night long. You wouldn't notice it because you're asleep, but your cells would. Oxygen is fuel for the brain. Without it, even for short periods, the tissue starts to suffer. Sleep apnea episodes, which often happen during back sleeping, are like mini breath-holding events. They strain your brain, weaken your blood vessels, and put you on the path toward a higher stroke risk. So if you've ever been told you snore heavily, gasp in your sleep, or wake up tired even after a full night's rest, this could be your body's way of warning you. Side sleeping in the surprising left versus right difference. Many people avoid back sleeping and turn to their side. At first, this seems like a healthier choice, and in some ways, it is. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all side sleeping is the same. Research shows that sleeping on your right side may actually put more pressure on the heart and reduce blood flow compared to the left side. On the other hand, sleeping on the left side seems to allow better circulation and reduce pressure on key blood vessels. This small detail might not sound like much, but when you add up hours of sleep every night over years of your life, it matters. For someone already at risk of heart disease or stroke, the difference between left and right side sleeping could become very important. So, while side sleeping can help reduce snoring and open the airway, paying attention to which side you choose may be the key to truly lowering your stroke risk. The morning warning signs you should never ignore. Here's something eye-opening. Your body often gives you clues that your sleep position is causing harm. Do you wake up with headaches? Do you feel groggy even after what should have been a full night's rest? Do your arms or legs feel numb when you wake up? These are not just minor annoyances. They could be warning signs that circulation is being restricted during the night. In fact, many people who have their first stroke report experiencing these subtle morning symptoms for years beforehand. Unfortunately, they brushed them off as nothing serious. But if you start listening to these clues now, you may be able to make changes before something bigger happens. Stomach sleeping and hidden pressure on the neck. Another group of people swear by sleeping on their stomach. It might feel cozy, but this position has problems of its own. When you sleep face down, your head naturally turns to one side. That twist in the neck may not feel painful in the moment, but it narrows important blood vessels that carry blood to the brain. Over time, this constant rotation can contribute to reduced circulation and higher stroke risk. Stomach sleeping also puts pressure on the chest, making it harder for the lungs to expand fully. That means less oxygen in the blood and more strain on the brain. For someone who already has risk factors like high blood pressure, diabetes, or clogged arteries, this combination can quietly push the odds in the wrong direction. Age and sleep position. Why it matters even more after 40. When you're young, your body can compensate for a lot of bad habits. But as you pass 40 or 50, the flexibility of your blood vessels decreases. Small issues like reduced oxygen or restricted blood flow become much more serious. This is why doctors often stress lifestyle changes more strongly in midlife. If you're over 40 and you've always been a back or stomach sleeper, it's time to reconsider. Your body may have tolerated it before, but continuing could now mean higher risks that build silently over time. Think of it like a credit card bill. The debt keeps adding up until one day the payment is due, and in this case, the payment could be a stroke. How weight plays a role in sleep position and stroke risk. Carrying extra weight around the neck, chest, and stomach makes sleeping positions even more important. In back sleepers, extra weight presses on the airway and makes apnea worse. In stomach sleepers, it adds even more pressure on the lungs. And inside sleepers, it can still affect how well blood circulates. Studies have shown that people who are overweight or obese are not only more likely to develop sleep apnea but also more likely to have poor circulation while sleeping. This combination creates the perfect storm for raising stroke risk. The good news? Even small weight loss can improve sleep quality and reduce these risks significantly. That means adjusting your lifestyle outside of the bedroom can be just as important as how you position yourself inside it. The midnight wake-up call. Have you ever found yourself waking up in the middle of the night without knowing why? Maybe you toss and turn, maybe you suddenly sit up to catch your breath. These events might not just be random. They can be signs that your body is struggling to get enough oxygen or blood flow in your current sleeping position. In fact, people with sleep apnea often report waking up at the same time every night, usually in the early morning hours, as the stress on the body builds up. If this happens to you regularly, don't ignore it. Your body is signaling that something isn't right, and changing your sleep position could make a big difference. What science recommends as the safest sleep position? So with all this information, what's the best choice? Most experts agree that sleeping on your left side seems to be the safest position for both the heart and the brain. It promotes better circulation, reduces snoring, lowers the chance of airway collapse, and avoids the neck twisting problems of stomach sleeping. If left side sleeping feels uncomfortable at first, there are small adjustments you can make. Using a supportive pillow between your knees can help align your spine. A slightly elevated head pillow can reduce pressure on the airway. Over time, your body adapts, and it becomes more natural. The important part is to make the change now, while you can still reduce your long-term risks. Small nightly habits that could save your life. Before we close, let me leave you with this thought. Sleep is something we all do every day, but few of us ever think about optimizing it. Yet, it's one of the most powerful ways to protect your health. Adjusting your position, using the right pillow, losing even a little weight, and paying attention to warning signs, these may seem like small steps, but they could be the difference between waking up refreshed and facing a serious health scare. Imagine if all it took was shifting the way you rest tonight to dramatically lower your stroke risk in the future. Isn't that worth trying? So, now you know. That common sleeping position you might have thought was harmless could actually be raising your stroke risk silently, night after night. The good news is, you don't have to be stuck with it. With simple adjustments and greater awareness, you can turn your sleep into a tool that protects your brain instead of putting it at risk. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone you care about. You never know, you might help them avoid a serious health problem down the road. Thanks for watching Fitness Tips. Stay healthy, stay mindful, and sleep smarter.